On this episode of Game Shack, I take a look at Ambassador's electronic arcade pinball game, an all-new version of it, coming up next. Hey everybody, it's JDV here for EvilGeniusEntertainment.com. Thanks for stopping by the Game Shack, the world's smallest arcade. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when new videos like this come out. And if you like the video on the way out, give me a thumbs up. Okay, so Ambassador was nice enough to send me this review unit along. They're not paying me for it. They don't get to see the video to approve it or disapprove of it. They get to see it at the same time you guys do. I'm going to be completely honest. In my review, I did buy an earlier version of this game with my own money, so I do have some skin in the game, as they say. I'm going to try to let you know if this thing has value for money, if it's worth the money, and maybe more importantly, does it offer a true pinball experience? Can you actually get a legitimate game of pinball off of this machine? Well, long story short, if you just want to quit the video after this, the answer is yes. It does offer you a nice pinball experience. It's got brilliant lighting. It's got a very bright LCD screen. It has nice music, loud music. The flippers are as responsive as any of the flippers I have in any other pinball game, including one costing $90. This particular unit is available right now for $29.99 at Target, and that is where I would buy it, because I think if you buy it off of Amazon or some of the other places, you might not get the newest variety of this game, and you do want the newest variety of this game. One of the things that makes a pinball game are bumpers, and this is the only pinball game that I'm aware of that you can buy for less than, I think, $3,000 that actually has real pinball bumpers. Considering this game is 30 bucks, it's pretty amazing that they have these at all. But now the first version, which did have the bumpers, they didn't really kick the ball a whole much. I mean, you could see the bumpers moving and they interacted with the ball a little bit, but they really didn't do enough to the ball. They didn't really kick it around enough to get really true pinball action. So in the first version of this game, the ball had a tendency just to come right down the middle. And, you know, if it didn't happen to hit one of these things, it just didn't play as well as it looked. Well, that has been fixed in this new version of the game. The bumpers kick much more aggressively and fiercely than they did in the first version of this game. The little green kickers, or whatever you want to call them, they are definitely more responsive. They're more responsive at the top, and they kick the ball up a lot more. I mean, it really is shockingly better version of this game. I don't know if they just turned up the sensitivity of the bumpers or gave them more voltage or whatever they did, but it has worked. It is a much different game than the original game that I reviewed, and much more fun. And because the thing bumps it around, it activates another cool feature of the game, which is different scoring. Depending on what you're hitting, you're going to be scoring different points. You get different points up here. This is going to score different than that. And a lot of these cheaper pinball games, it's only 5 or 10 points. That's it. You never get anything else than that. This has different kind of scoring, and that combined with this new bumper sensitivity and power really does make this thing a lot of fun to play. In terms of room for improvement, as they say, is there some room for improvement? Yeah, I wish there was the songs would change so that we have 2 or 3 different songs playing. I wish that this little bumper here instead was like a target, so you could try to hit it, either something that you hit with the ball or an indentation that had a bumper sunk into it. Just something that where it's like a skill shot, because right now there really isn't any skill shot, even though the scoring does vary and everything. There isn't like a goal. Like, it would be nice to be able to just, if you can get the ball here, you get 100 extra points. I would like to see a DC adapter input for this game, so in case you run out of batteries, because it really is nice to have this thing at maximum power just so that you can get all the kick to it. It's not the quietest game. Even if you turn down the volume or took the speaker out, it's still going to make a lot of noise. So, I mean, it's a pinball game. You're not going to be able to play this thing at midnight while your kids are sleeping, you know, but that's really kind of nitpicky. I mean, when you think about all of the things that this delivers, the shiny lights, the music, the sound, the 5 different actual bumpers, but these guys up here, the really excellent flippers. I mean, it really does deliver a legitimate, very small, but legitimate pinball experience. In terms of other products that offer a kind of maybe similar experience to this. There are other tabletop pinball games you can get, and you can check out my reviews of some of them there. All of them inferior to this game. They just now, particularly with these bumpers and kickers reacting the way they do. Really the next step up, I guess, for a toy kind of like this, something that you can play on a table, would be Arcade 1-Up's Countercades and Partycades. Now the Countercades, you can find some of them for $120, but a lot of the new ones are going for like $229. They're Partycades that you can hang on the wall or sit on the table. They're starting off at $219, and I think right now, but they go all the way up to I think around $300. So again, this is a much cheaper option if you want to have kind of an arcade experience in a relatively small space. And if you want to have a good pinball experience, I mean, for $30 you can't beat it. So big thumbs up for me for this game. Okay, speaking of thumbs up, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up on the way out the door. It does help us out here at the channel. Love each other. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the Game Shack. Mwah!
Be sure to visit evilgeniusentertainment.com for exclusive content, swag, casting call news, and much, much more.